Welcome to Oahspe College University. We have Sister Amarisa with us and Sister Jane. Today, University, we're going to be talking about who is the Almighty. For over 78,000 years now, the name the Almighty, people have used a different word, they've used a different language. I just want to hear from you, faithful sisters. What do you think the Almighty is? Who is the Almighty? So, the floor is open. We're live. Our purpose is to teach the world about what OAPC teaches us, or what our spirit guide or our angels tells us, or most especially if they're serving the Creator, they will be telling us the truth. And the Creator also speaks into our soul at night, even when we're quiet. So I'm gonna, from my years of research, I'm going to talk about who is the Almighty, and then I'll leave the floor to you guys.
Okay.
To me, the Almighty is the ever-present, the one that cannot be described. Nothing, even an angel or spirit or a human. I don't even know how highest the angel is, but they cannot describe who the Almighty is. It's the ever-present. It does not take a form or shape or a form of a man or nothing. That's what who the Almighty is to me. And from my years of reading Oahspe, I've been reading Oahspe for the past 2 years, and there's nothing that described the Almighty as if having a form of a man or shape or some type of compressive form. Another thing about what OFC teaches is that the Almighty never came down to a mountaintop or took a shape of a plane or some type of arrow shape or wheels to show itself. So nobody can describe the Almighty. That's basically what the Almighty is the ever present. You could only see the Almighty through the creation. And so I'll leave the floor to you, Amarizo. To you, what do you think the Almighty is?
Well, I would say you cover it all because I haven't been reading a Oahspe as long as you all, but for the couple weeks that I started reading a Oahspe, I for years I've been taught that the Most High is a person that you could feel and touch, and but coming into a Oahspe, I realized that was a fabrication because um, and I believe that is why we on a whole don't give the ever-present spirit room. We hold him in like in a box because we believe that he's just a person like us. After reading a Oahspe, I realized that um, the ever-present spirit is consists of all of us, right? All of us. Um, the trees, the us human being, the rocks, everything. And he's not a physical person per se where you could touch and feel. Because if we categorize the Great Spirit as a human being, it's like limiting us to our potential of what we could where we could reach or what we can achieve, because man could only go so far. And if we start looking at the Most High, um, or the ever-present Spirit as who He is, our potential will likely develop more. If we strive to find out who He is, because He's not a man, He's not a human being.
Right,
He's
right,
he just,
exactly.
I would say He just is. He just
Right.
is. He cannot be described. He cannot be it just is, and it is time
It's,
for us to start realizing that the Father is not a person. He's not a person.
So that brings up my question then. If because most of us keep on saying E. Can we describe the creator as a she also?
Yes, we can, because why I say that is, um, for you to create something, you have to be a part of that thing that you are creating, right? Um,
Right.
what I mean by that is, if you don't know how to, all right, if you eat an apple per se, right? And or if you never had an apple, you don't know how apple tastes, right?
Right.
That means
Right.
if the Most High didn't have a female or a male and a male attribute, he would never know how to make a woman.
Right. Right.
He would never know how
So
to make a woman.
so there's nothing wrong if we classify or describe the creator as a she, and
No.
right, exactly. Also, I was reading an article about 3 years ago where the person did not describe the creator as a he or she, but instead the guy said it. So because the reason he said that was because he says the creator could be a she or he, but he's more comfortable to say it because
No,
he doesn't
but
know. Right,
describing the creator as an it, to me, that would be like this disrespectful, because what it is, you know,
right,
it would be
right,
disrespectful to say it, um because even though we cannot, even though he's not a person, even though he's not a person per se, he's still our creator, right? He's
right,
still our
exactly.
creator. And
Hmm.
when I see you, when I see you, I see the creator. So I couldn't describe you as a it. Understand?
So, right, Sister Jane. So, from your years of research and your years of dealing with the Creator on your personal level, what do you think the Almighty is to you?
Well, I'm totally new to the OASP,
Okay,
and just recently started diving into reading it. But
okay,
my my background of being Native American and being in the Native American culture, uh, the Great Spirit, which is the creator to us, um, we believe where I am as believing who the Almighty or the Creator is. I believe that I call as the all parent, that it
right,
consists of both male and female. It's not he or she; it is both. And because as we look at our own genetic makeup, each of us has a male female within us. And
right,
when when somebody before as they're conceived, at that one moment in time, we carry both. We have both genes, and it's at a point in time which decides whether we're going to become female in physical or male in physical. But we still have male female in each one of us, and within creation, there's still male female. So when we see in the creation that the Creator made, how can a creator just be he or she when there's both? And
right,
just like the both of you have said, is that the creator is not a person, it's not a physical uh,
right, right,
being.
exactly.
It's a spirit. It's like you say, an ever-present being. It's ever present. It's everywhere. And I'm not going to say it's the Creator is everywhere. The Creator is within everything around us, and we can't say that you know, I'm sitting here but the Creator's over there. The Creator is all around us. We are enveloped.
Thank you, sister. So which brings up my next question: why do people, or should I say the world or the religion today, think that the Creator is sitting in an heavenly throne, is sitting in a throne somewhere? If the Creator is ever present, why is the Creator sitting in a throne? I mean, the floor is open. I mean, from reading Oahspe, we know that the Creator is not sitting in a throne. We do know angels sit on the throne. Go ahead.
Religion has defied what the ever-present Spirit really is, and there are so manipulation in scriptures, and we have been taught these things for generation to generation. And couple months ago, that's what I thought too, right? And as I said, we've been taught these things from generation coming down. And when something is embedded in a generation as much as Christianity, it's kind of hard to break free and even think of the concept of worshiping a spirit that you can feel and you can touch. We are so used to hands-on with everything. We want to see. I saw a man ask a person. I was watching a video, and he said, "Do you walk by faith or by sight?" The man said he walked by faith. So the guy turned to him and said, "Well, walk out in the road since you walk by faith," right? So we are so used to with this, you have to see the things, or I have to feel the thing. So for us now having a concept that the ever-present Spirit is not a person or a human being, it is so hard for the mind to really wrap itself around that. You know, it is so hard, because if I've been teaching my children things from a child growing up, and there is no other concept different from what I teach that child, you can go out and somebody else come in and try to teach that child different. So religion has played a big role in us believing that, oh, the Father is sitting on his throne somewhere, you know, watching over us and stuff like that. But after I started reading, I tell you, Oahspe blows my mind.
Yeah, of course.
It blows my mind
Of course.
because I had issues with the Bible even before I met Oahspe, right? About a year ago, I was running behind a whole bunch of group on Facebook, and I was believing everything that they were saying and stuff like that, but there was still something missing, you know? There was still something missing. I keep reading the Bible and I see things that don't make sense. And when I ask the question to people who I think know more than I do, nobody could give me an answer. And when they do give me an answer, the answer that they give me don't make no sense.
Why?
So I remember saying to the Father that I am not touching the Bible because something is wrong with that thing.
Why?
I said, there's a lot of truth out there. Because not everything that everybody say is a lie. And not everything that the KJV said is a lie. There is truth in everything that you read. You just have to search for it. And I tell him that I am not reading the Bible anymore, right? And I am looking for the truth, and I don't want the truth that man presented to me, because man truth isn't God truth. It's not the Most High truth, because I look on it like this. It's over 4,000 years of misconception, right?
1 minute. Why do you say 4,000? From my calculation, is 6,738 years.
Well, this is what I've been taught. I'm saying it from that perspective.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm saying it from that perspective. They say over 4,000 years of misconception, right?
Oh, okay. All right.
How do we just get up now and everything that we find, we put it in one bundle and say this is the truth? If we have been deceived over for this period of time, even though you and I know that it's longer than that, right? We've been deceived for this period of time. How do we know that we are not still being deceived? Right?
That's a good question. Go ahead.
So my thing is, somebody said to me, I present a scripture out of Oahspe to a person, and they start telling me, oh, this book is this and this book is that. My thing is, if you read a book and there's nothing in it to discriminate things that you learn, or the things in the book will make you a better person, why is the book evil? If the contents of the book makes you a better person. Because
exactly.
I've been reading KJV for some 30-something years, and I still don't understand one thing I read. Not one.
Of course. And the good news is that when you read a book, the way you measure the truth is the spirit of the your spirit will speak to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. So even though, but I do have a question though. Before that, but let me ask Jane to speak. Jane, do you have anything to add? Because I have a question for Sister Marisa.
Well, I agree with a lot of what she says, and I think with the question that was at the beginning of this was, I believe what has happened is, like she says, is that man has tended to want to see something or feel something, and in order to believe that there is a creator.
Right.
And I believe what religion has done is that because of that they have brought creator down to their level and has made creator in the image of man, instead of letting creator be who creator is, and we being who we are. And so I agree with pretty much everything else is what she has said. And I too is ever since I have come to know creator, I've always wanted just the truth of what creator is, and that truth, and not what man has given us. So it's been a journey, in my own of coming into Christianity, and then I went from there into the Hebrew roots, and before even that's when the creator showed me my native heritage, and then went into that, and now bringing me into, further into truth and higher into truth of the Oahspe. So it's been a journey.
Right, right, right. So, Sister Marisa, um, and Sister Jane, both of you can answer this question. The KJV, which is the King James Version Bible, that book was compiled by a man, but when he compiled it, it took information that was originally transmitted by a bunch of angels up to 6,000 years ago. So when we read Oahspe, we find out that it all started from a group of angels that was spearheaded by Anuhasaj.
Mm-hmm.
And then Osiris, the fourth, he the information. So it goes down. The where I'm trying to link the question to is that Oahspe also was channeled by a group of angels, angels of light from second resurrection heaven, according to John Newbrough, JBN. So how do we know the information that Oahspe gave to us about the Almighty is the truth? Because both information was channeled by angels. Um, so I mean, the floor is open. Oahspe was channeled by a group of angels, though they never gave their name. According to JBL, it was transmitted from second resurrection heaven. And for those of us who's been reading Oahspe, we find out that second resurrection angels, they only come in group of they work in association, they work in unit, they work in communities together, they work as an army, they don't come to individual. So they transmitted this information to JBN. How do we know the information that they gave to us is accurate compared to what we have about King James Version? The reason why is we want to make sure that we're saying we're not batching the King James Version of the Bible, but we want to see, okay, this is two different versions of the Bible. How do we know for sure that this information that they gave to us is the truth or not? So, I mean, you could start Marisa, then followed by you, Jane, then I'll also add to that because I actually have the information already. But I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows about it. And in that way, when they watch this video afterward, when they start asking questions, we could give them the answer.
um, I would not say that the King James Version don't have the truth, because there are a lot of truth in the King James Version. But when you read the King James Version, like for instance, if I read a scripture out of the King James Version, it leaves me hanging. It leaves me wondering. It leaves me what next? And I've been told, I've been in Christianity for some 30 something years. And I've been told that my creator doesn't change. He doesn't change his mind. He doesn't change his ways. What he said today, he's going to say tomorrow. He's going to say it the next day. His word don't change. When I read the King James Version, it leaves me asking, and it leaves me thinking that the creator is a liar, point blank.
Right, right,
Right?
exactly.
Because
Right,
he would say something in one scripture and then change his mind in another, right? Because,
right,
for instance, the Most High said, I really didn't want to put this here because, but I didn't have to. For instance, the Most High in the Old Testament mostly told you that fornication is adultery. Lusting after another man's wife is adultery, right? And you should not do that. But still, Mary was exposed to Moses, to Joseph, and she ended up with a Mosai child. So those things have me thinking, and there is a lot of other issue that I have with the KJV, wherein the Mosai said this, and then afterward he said this, because he said no man can give a ransom for another man's sin, right? No man can take your place when you sin. That is exactly what he's saying, right? But still, his son, according to the KJV, came and died for everybody else's sin. And when you present that information to a person, they would tell you that, no, the Mosai didn't kill his son. Jesus chose to die for mankind, right? But at the end of the day, if they two are one, they're supposed to have the same rules and regulation. That means if the Mosai said you can't die for somebody's sin, Jesus could not come around and say, well, I'm going to die for the world. So those are the issues that I have. Now with Oahspe, when I read Oahspe, I don't have to second guess what the Mosai is saying to me, because it tells you what he's saying and it breaks down what he means. So it give you a command, and then it break down what the command is all about.
Right.
KJV don't give me that. KJV leave me wondering or trying to figure out the next sentence, because in the book of Exodus, where it tells you thou shalt not kill, but it never tells you what you shouldn't kill. So we as human beings just say we are not to kill people. Oahspe break that down and tell you that you are not supposed to kill anything that have the bread of life that the Most High created.
Right.
So for me, that's what Oahspe do for me. I don't know for nobody else. It doesn't confuse me.
Right. Sister Jane, do you want to add to that?
Well, it's almost on the same line, is that, you know, when I was, same as Amarissa's, is that when I was reading the Bible, always kind of confused me. I could never really, you know, there'd be some people would say, you know, I read through the whole thing, and I'm like, how could you do that? Because it's like I'd start reading and I'm like, I'd get totally confused on what was being said and all that. But there was things that started popping up to me too, and I started questioning certain things. And you know, when our Creator says that He is life and light and love and peace, what I started reading is, how can a Creator say, you know, choose life, I'm all about life, but then turns around and tells His people to slaughter, you know, a whole other nation of people and animals and all this. And I'm like, this is not right. How can He say one thing in one place and then turn around and totally say something else, you know, and have His people do something different? And so I started seeing these things. Now there's something that I had written down here, and I looked at this and kind of went with this, and I believe that it goes with all, is that if there's any scripture at all, whether it be in the KJV or whatever version, I could never read the full KJV, but if it advocates violence or cruelty towards any form of life, it's counterfeit, not from the Creator. And what I have found in the Oahspe, for me, is what I've been reading is that there are certain verses, even the Oahspe, that correlates with some of the verses of the KJV. And I believe that there are, like what Amarissa was saying, is that there's pieces of truth in every book. in everything that you read. And I think that with discernment and really seeing is that you can pick out those pieces of truth, you know, in everything that you read, whether it be the KJV or the Oahspe or any other forms of spiritual enlightenment books, and that brings forth truth of who and what Creator is all about.
Right, right, exactly. And both of you have said exactly what it is. What happens is, when I also was reading the Bible in the past, I was seeking for the truth. And immediately when I read Genesis, I said to myself, what is the Almighty coming down to do to speak with Adam? And then at one point he said he was looking for Adam. And I said, I don't understand. Why is the Almighty looking for Adam? And then at one point, there was a verse in Exodus, I believe it's Exodus chapter 20, that says that the Almighty came down and was looking. He had he coin in form of a sapphire, and 70 elders of Israel saw God face to face. And I said, wait a minute, this is strange. This is not right. So the King James Version Bible leaves you with 200 unanswered questions about the Almighty. 1 minute, the Almighty is all love. And then in another minute, he's telling us to go, he's telling the Canaanites or the Israelites or the Levites, whoever those people were at that time, to go destroy a community. That right there gives you a description of a fallen angel, or what we call in Oahspe a false god, or a false goddess, right? And when I started reading Oahspe, immediately my spirit just accepted what Oahspe was telling me, because I connected immediately with it. I said, "Oh,
Me too.
this is the book I was looking for," right? And I said, "Yeah, the Almighty." And if you read Oahspe, even says even to his enemies, he still accepts them at the end of the day. And this was the issue with Osiris, Anuasaj, Ahura, all those fallen angels, the false gods that revolted against Jehovah's will. At the end of the day, he still accepted them. He didn't even judge them.
No.
They judged themselves.
Yeah.
Right. And he said to them that until the lowest member or the lowest person who you've deceived rises to the ethereal heaven, then you could not rise. It never said that, oh, I'm going to dump you or put you in some type of torture or hell for eternity. No, in fact, when you read Oahspe, it keep on saying to you that the hells that was created by these false gods are cleared up. They cleaned up. The angels from Ethereum come down and always clean these hells up. They never leave hell alone. And so the Almighty is love, is light, is peace, is compassionate, is unimaginable, is undescribable.
Oh
Nothing
yeah.
can describe the Creator.
Oh yeah.
And Oahspe gives us this basic information about the Almighty. And after reading Oahspe, I said to myself, this is the Almighty. This is the Almighty we've been looking for. Unfortunately, over the years, the false gods and the goddesses who revolted against the will of the Creator corrupted the information, and they said, they wanted to be their own creator. And they formed their own religion, and they sent information down to we mortals and said to us that we should follow what they say. But when
Yeah.
I read Genesis, immediately I knew something was wrong, because I don't know what the Almighty is coming down to speak with Adam or Eve. It just didn't sound right to me. So I'm glad that we all agree that the Almighty is not the God of war,
No, he's not.
like
No.
other people would say, right? And is not the God of jealousy.
No.
It's not a God that. And Marisa, you said something that was very important. It says, "Thou shalt not kill," and in Oahspe tells us exactly what you should not kill.
Right.
Right.
And
Right.
and and
And right, go ahead.
and in the book of Genesis too, where it when they say the Father created the heavens and the earth, and He gave you a strict diet on what to eat, right? He said the fruits, the
Right.
herbs, and are for meat and for healing. And then you wonder, um, this is the Most High speaking, right? He's telling you what you're supposed to put in your body. And
Right.
then you wonder why in Leviticus it comes with, oh, you could eat this meat and you could eat this meat. That means he changed his mind. So,
Exactly.
but
Right.
I did not like the God of the KJV because um, I am human being, right? And I want somebody that I could put my trust in. I want somebody who I could depend on. And every time I read something, he changes his mind. Who want a God who changed their mind?
Yeah.
Nobody
I
wants a
don't.
creator that changes his mind, of course. And another thing in Matthew, there was a verse in Matthew. I just don't remember it off it. It says that heaven suffereth violence. Violence must you take it by
Take it by
force.
force.
And
Yeah.
I said to some fellow friends of mine one day, I said, why would you want to go to a heaven that is in
So
violence? They're having violence on a daily basis. I don't want to go to that kind of heaven. What type of heaven is creating violence? Right, violence?
We're already living amongst enough of it already here.
I serious, and
So this is the reason why Oahspe College University had to come about, so we could teach the people, we could teach the world that this information the false gods or the fallen angel or whatever we want to call them has given to us is wrong. That starting from 1848 when the Kazman cycle started, uh, in 1882, a new revelation. I don't want to say a new revelation. The revelation has always been there.
right.
It was just hidden from us. In fact, the revelation is there because if you go to some remote villages in Africa, in America, in Asia, you have people that have never even read the Bible. But when you ask them who is the Almighty, they say to you, the Great
The
Spirit.
spirit, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. So which means they never even read the Bible or even the Oahspe before. So
Exactly,
The
and that's exactly how the Native Americans were here.
right.
Before the Europeans came over, they
Exactly.
knew exactly who Creator was, and the Europeans come over here with their religion and trying to tell them that they were wrong and a bunch of heathens, and trying to get them converted to a religion that they didn't want because they already knew who Creator
Right.
was, and they were worshiping Him, according to His uh, laws of creation. And so, it's messed up. It's it's just messed
Yeah.
up.
there is nothing new under the sun, whether
Right.
it be the Oahspe or the KJV. All these things has happened before. All these things has happened before. It's
Right.
just that um, certain things was hidden from a generation of people, and because certain things was hidden from a generation of people, we don't know that these things was already there. So we believe that, because people believe that a wasp is a new Bible. It's not a new Bible. The word was already spoken thousands of years ago. We
Yes.
just
Right,
coming,
exactly. It's not in your Bible.
right, we just knowing about it. It can't
Yeah.
be new. Something that is new is something that happened like about 5 or 10 years ago. That has been the word
Right,
have already been spoken thousands of years ago. But we just get in the truth because we are in a time of knowing, you know. The time
right,
of belief,
right,
the time of believing was for the KJV. We are in the time of knowing where you are supposed to know. You're supposed to be doing things for yourself, not your pastor praying for you, not you praying for this one. This is a time when you are supposed to be doing for yourself. And this the only way
right,
we could
right,
grow because um when you have a young child, you help that child to a certain age where the child have to start doing for himself. When you look at the birds of the forest and so forth, they have their young and they tend to them to a certain limit, but there's a time when they let them go on their own. So that's the same thing. When you look on the Great Spirit creation, you have to compare it to yourself because we are all one, just in different forms. We
exactly.
we have animalistic nature just like the animal, and if we watch them how they operate, we will learn something from them. You know, we are in the time of knowing. We are supposed to know these things, so nothing is new. We just didn't know
Right,
about it.
right, exactly. And the information has always been in the library of heaven. So those
Great.
who are true prophets, I say
Hmm.
true prophet because a lot of people call themselves prophet, but
Oh yeah.
right, they don't know the true meaning of a prophet. And in fact, in one of our upcoming topics or discussion, we're going to be talking about what is a true prophet. And according to OahspeC, what is a
Mhm.
true prophet? And we're going to be talking about that. So if these people are reading any sacred Bible and they call themselves a true prophet, they can see the information for themselves.
Mhm.
OahspeC calls them suis.
Mhm.
suis. And if you're truly a suis, then you should be able to pick this information up for yourself.
Mhm.
So we know for a fact that the other Bibles were corrupted, uh, and when OahspeC came about, uh, the information wasn't corrupted. The information was given to us raw. So
Mhm.
1 minute in 1 minute the creator is saying one thing to a prophet in OahspeC, and the same thing he said to that prophet also says the same thing to the. So, for example,
Yeah.
Zarathustra was said, "Thou shalt not kill any animal alive, or thou shalt not kill
Mhm.
anything that breatheth."
Mhm.
But when Yeshua or Joshua or Sakaya came,
Mhm.
it said the same thing to them.
Yeah.
So even the prophet Paul or prophet or Kanyu, all this information, when they got the information, it was the same thing. There was no different. And these people were in remote villages or remote areas. They didn't even live in the same area.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
they were doing the same.
yeah, exactly. So it baffles me that in today's world that we're in 2017 and some people still can't comprehend the meaning of who is the Almighty. But the good news is that a group of faithists, you and Jane and other faithists who can join us for today, are willing and have taken the time to uh, talk about these issues, these topics, and this discussion from OahspeC's point of view, and distribute this information to the world. So anyone that logs into our YouTube video can see it, and if they have any questions or comment, they could comment or they could send us an email. So we're available for them.
Mhm.
Um, And in the upcoming weeks, one of the topics we're going to be talking about is who is Jehovah.
Mhm.
And then maybe later on we might come up with a topic. What is the difference between Jehovah and Jehovah? Because that two names right there has been issue over the years.
Mhm.
You've got some people that said, Jehovah is not almighty. Jehovah is this. Jehovah is that. So we're gonna talk about this issue publicly, and if anybody have any questions, then we'll talk about it. Who is the Almighty? The Almighty is the ever-present. Can you see the Almighty? No. Can as the highest angel, the high-ranking angel, in heaven or in ethereal, whatever heaven they reside, have they ever seen the Creator? No. There are verses in Oahspe that specifically says this, that no one, no angel, no matter how high they will never see the Creator, and they've never seen the Creator, and will never see the Creator. So who is the Almighty? The ever-present. The
Yeah.
Almighty is love, is
Yeah.
peace, is light, is harmony. So we can describe the Almighty however we want to describe it based on our inspiration, but at the end of the day, it's ever present. The ever
When
present can't take any shape and then
I
appear to you.
I look at everything that is good in the world, and I would say that's the Creator. Everything that
Right.
is good, everything that is good, because there's no fault in Him. There's no failure in Him. And people would say, He's a God of war and love. No, He's not. He's not a God of war, because He He does not destroy His creation. Would you have your children, and because they don't meet up to your standard, you kill them?
Nope.
No. So
Exactly.
if we were created, as everybody say, in His image, in His likeness, the attribute of Him is in us, why do we think that He created His creation and turn around and destroy it? You wouldn't destroy your children.
Right.
And
Exactly.
some of these children, if you're not in your right frame of mind, you would want to destroy them how bad they is, but you still don't. You still don't. So what give us the what give us the notion that the Most High created us, and because we doesn't please, and I would say this, He said He create good in us and bad in us, right? That
Mm-hmm.
means if He create these two entities in us, right, why would He destroy us? Why didn't He just put good, that we could be good, that He didn't have to destroy us? So I have I got four sons and five grandchildren, and there's nothing in this world that they could do for me to hate them. Nothing. Period. I
Of
don't care how
course.
bad they is. So I look at my Creator like that. I don't care how bad I is, because people don't just get up and want to be bad. They don't. Now I
Right.
know, and I always say that, but now I know why. Because there are some angel out there inspiring them to do bad things.
Right.
It's not of their nature. So why would a father create his children, create his creation, make things around him to please him, and because we step off a bit, he's gonna burn all of us in hell?
So I have a question. So I mean, I don't want us to go off topics, but do you think hell, because that's going to be one of the topics we're going to be talking about. Do you
Hmm.
believe that the creator created hell?
No,
Okay.
no,
The Almighty did not create hell. So I mean,
no.
from your point of view, from your years of researching, who do you think created hell?
I believe that hell is created by individuals because you weren't supposed to be eating certain things. And because we step away from that commandment, because the first commandment is about your temple, how
Right.
to attain your temple, how to keep the temple, what's supposed to go in and what's not supposed to. So the first commandment of Oahspe is how to take care of your temple.
Right.
When you step away from that commandment, you created a hell within yourself,
Right.
right? Because hell is sickness, disease, and all those things that are bad with the body are going on bad with the body.
Right.
Um, but I believe that the false god and false angel um, um, is a part of this hell creating thing, because why I say that is they are the one who started all this drama. They are the one who started all this drama because I look, I said to my husband the other day, could you imagine if like 6,000 years ago we had known about Oahspe and how to attain our temples and what not to eat and stuff like that, how the world would have been?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
the world would be such a beautiful place to live in. But
Exactly.
because we messed up the first commandment, which is how to keep your body, what you're not supposed to eat. Stop killing the animal because they want to live just like you know?
Right.
So we created hell of ourselves. I believe that.
Right.
Somebody else might believe something else, but I believe we created our own hell. But
Jane, do you
in terms of saying that, oh,
mhm.
there's a place where fire always burning, and when the Most High come back or when the Great Spirit come back, all of us is gonna be thrown down in there? No, I don't.
Jane, do you think that the creator created L? We're talking about the Almighty. So do you think the Almighty created L?
Uh, no. And I think it's the same thing.
Okay.
I think it's the same thing as what Marissa was saying. Although I look at it in this way, is kind of like what it says, in the Bible is what you reap is what you sow. Uh,
Right,
or,
right.
or somebody, or you can put it in a way of karma, uh, that what goes around comes around. So it's like, I think that we create our own hell, just like she was saying, uh,
Mm-hmm.
through the actions that we do in our own lives. And so like she was saying, taking care of our temples, it's like how we, what we do in our life, whether, how I put it, um, if we want to live in darkness, then that's what we're going to have. But if we want to live in light, then we're going to strive to go in that way. And so what we create is where we're going to be. And if the hell that, if we want to be in hell, then that's what we're going to have. And uh, and everything about it is going to be there. Um,
Right,
and
right. So, both of you ladies are right. But when you continue to read Oahspe, the 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 hell was created by these fallen angels. So let's look at it from the world that we live in. A perfect example of hell would be the prison. So um they they when you commit a crime or you go against a law, they'll put you in prison,
Mhm.
right,
right? And there's walls among those prisons. So those walls, and then they put a gate. In the lower heaven, the fires are used to contain the angels, and so
Okay.
that's used as a wall to guide them so that they can go away or they can flee away from so the hells were actually created by a bunch of angels. For example, perfect example is I know Asaj say to you, oh, I want you to go build a plane for me, and the angel says no. So the next thing it causes guardian angels or is a seraphim or cherubims. Oh, go dump that person in hell. What they were saying is go dump that person in prison. That's what but you have to read the
Okay.
book of wars and continue reading up, and then you get a more description of what hell
Understand.
is.
Okay.
Right. So and so I wrote an article I'll share with you guys in the chat room. It was about hell gets freed every time, so it's not a permanent place, because
No.
what happens is when the Ethereum angels come down, their responsibility is to clean the hell up. So they come
Okay.
down and clean the mess up for what the fallen angels have done. So I'll share the article with everybody. If you guys have any questions, we're gonna close in maybe 5 minutes or maybe in 2 minutes from now. Um, I'm sure that the viewers are gonna be viewing this YouTube video. They're gonna learn something from this, and if they have any questions, they can send us an email or whatever it is. But I'm glad
Okay.
that we had our first live conference and also live lesson. I'm gonna try to work on my camera. I just don't like the camera on my laptop, but at least we could hear each other clearly. And when we
Yeah.
stop the broadcast now, they could hear us clearly also. That's good. Do you have
Okay.
any questions? Do you guys have anything to share?
A person would say, um, because it even though I read in a Oahspe and I understand what the Great Spirit is doing, right? Because as I said, we are in a time of knowing, right? We
Right.
supposed to know things. But
Mm-hmm.
a person who never read a Oahspe or don't know anything about a Oahspe and watching this program would ask you why the Great Spirit allow these things to happen.
That's a very, very good question. In October of 2014, when I started reading Oahspe, that was my question. And when I started reading Oahspe, I now understood why the creator let them do what they want to do. What the answer is that the creator gives you what they call liberty. So what that means is do what you want to do. If you create a bondage for yourself, then you have to lift those people you put in bondage up.
Mhm.
And then later on, after you clear up your bondage, then you could rise the Ethereum. So
Mhm.
the answer is the Creator gives you full liberty. Liberty is given to his enemies, to whoever it is. Do what you want to do. And then from there, you come back later on to redeem yourself. A perfect example was Arua. Arua was a lord in the heavenly kingdom that belonged to Jehovah.
Mhm.
And at one point, he revolted and proclaimed himself the creator.
Mhm.
So he actually had a maximum bondage. He kept on, lying to the people in heaven and even in our planet. At the end of the day, uh, his heaven was now coming down. It was not coming down, was coming down. So the more his heaven was coming down, the more spirits of darkness was coming into his kingdom, and he
Okay.
couldn't take it no more. And they at the end of the day, they created a naps of hell.
Mhm.
And then later on, then he cleaned up himself. He he now started worshiping the creator back again. And he now when he cleaned up himself, then now the other gods and other goddesses also did the same thing. So he now went to them and said to them that, you know, I have done this in the past, I have done this in this past. And one of them said, so why should we follow this way? We follow this way. It never worked for us. And he said to them that, have you ever heard in any part of the kingdom that belongs to the creator, that the creator, puts people in hell, kills, or do all this kind of stuff? And they said no, they never heard of it. So why are you guys doing this? So he said to them, you could continue, but you're still gonna come back and lift these people up. A perfect example is, look at what's going on with the religion. Whoever is behind this doctrine have to clean them up. So when all the spirits die or they rise to this heaven belonging to these angels or this doctrine or religion, they have to lift. They have to lift them up. So until the lowest member or the lowest person rise to ethereal before so the creator gives you liberty. That's the perfect answer. It gives you liberty, do what you want to do, but you're still gonna come back. You're still part of me, but you're still gonna come back. That's the answer. Liberty. The creator just gives you free will. Liberty.
That is the sweetest thing about our creator, right? Because it doesn't matter how far you drift from him. You could come back and he will receive you without any repetition or any what we learn in church, or God is gonna deal with you, and
Why?
I mean,
religion brings what I have found is what you were just saying, Marissa, is that religion brings shame and guilt upon it, so that we don't feel like that our creator will want anything to do with us anymore.
Right. And that is so true, Jane, because I remember being in the church, and if I step out and mess up, I would feel so embarrassed. I would feel so guilt. I would feel, and it's like if I even make up my mind and go to church that Sunday or whatever, and my pastor is ministering, I'll maybe he'll say something, and I know he's not really talking to me because he don't know what I did, but I swear that he's talking to me. So this is what religion do to us. It put this guilt on us, and I believe that more dominate people from really seeking the Most High, because we are going to mess up every day of our life. And some people is saying that, what does it make sense for me to go in church and I'm going to mess up tomorrow, right? So it brings this condemnation on you, and prevent people from really, really seeking for the Most High, because we are human beings. We mess up every day.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. All right. So if there's no other comments or questions, we're gonna officially close our broadcast.
Okay.
In the upcoming weeks, months or years from now, we're gonna continue this. And if you have any guests that you think that we like to have has some questions, you could we could create a broadcast like this, and we could let any viewer come in and then they could ask the question.
Okay.
Another thing is, I think we're gonna try keep the lessons to maybe 20-30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, but if it's a question and answer series, then we could probably keep it up to 1 hour.
Okay.
But I think a 30 minutes lesson will be good. Another thing we're gonna be doing, just like the video we just put up this morning, for example, who is the Almighty? We're gonna put up a slide, and the slide will give you verses from Oahspe that talks about who the Almighty is. Like, for example, the book of Jehovah, chapter 4 says this about the creator, and then the book of judgment says this about the creator. So we'll put up just like a similar video to what we did this morning. We're gonna do something like that about that. Hopefully by next week I'll put that up about who is the Almighty. So when we do a broadcast about who is the Almighty, we also gonna do a video about who is the Almighty and put videos to support what we just talked about.
Okay.
Yeah, so those slides will be coming up and we'll put that up too. So, you know, hopefully by next week that will be up. So so that people don't think that we're just talking about who is the Almighty and we don't have any verses to back it up. So
Okay.
that will be up, you know, hopefully by the before the end of next week. So if there's no other question from Jane or Amarisa, we're gonna close our broadcast officially. For those who are gonna be watching or viewing our YouTube video, if you have any questions, please just comment and you know, send us an email and then we'll give you an answer back. So Sister Jane, good night.
Good
Sister
Peace.
night.
Marisa, peace, light and peace to you guys both. All
Peace.
Good
right.
night.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.